What are we talking about today? Boundaries in your business. Why it's important, how to figure out what they should be, and how to support yourself in the process so that you can actually stick to them. Hello, you beautiful human you. I know it sounds silly, but I've had enough interactions with folks lately, and also it's just come up in my personal life and my business life too. And so I wanted to chat about it for a little bit here, in case you need a reminder or a permission slip to be able to do the same for yourself. So I'm pretty sure we've talked about how it's not great to try to serve everyone and just focus on the one ideal client that you desire to help in past videos. So check those out on the channel. But it's real easy to allow yourself to slip into serving folks that aren't a great fit and that you're not a great fit for them either. And what that leads to is things like overwhelm, burnout, losing your passion for what you do, and even giving up, which is something I definitely don't want you to do, because you came here to help people. You came here with a mission and a purpose. And if you give up, then you can't fulfill that purpose in your life, which does no good for you or anybody else. One of the biggest ways this shows up that I see in a lot of people that I work with is that we feel like that we have to completely go all in on this building business gig. That if we go do other side hustles or decide to sell some shit or even get a part-time or a full-time job, that it negates the work that we're doing building our own thing. And it's complete shit. It's complete shit. Because you know what? If you choose to sell some shit you don't use, to find some things to do for folks locally, like mowing the lawn, handiwork, baking treats or meals, any kind of creative way to bring in some extra funds so that your nervous system can breathe, and you aren't transmitting that energy of desperation, because that will fuck up your business more than anyone would ever think. So if you have to do the side hustle thing, if you have to sell some shit, if you have to go get a part-time or even a full-time job for a while you build, so that you can build things in the right way, so that you can lay the foundation and you can build the culture in your space, then I'm gonna be here cheering you on and saying, get on with your badass self. Because it's really easy to focus on all of the people that talk about all this money they've made in this amount of time and feel all of that mindfuckery creep in. Why can't I do this like they can? Why isn't this working for me? If I go do this thing, it means that my business that I'm growing is taking a back seat, or that it's not worth it to me. I just need to hustle harder or believe that things are magically going to happen. And then you get yourself in a shithole that you really have a hard time climbing out of. And it just adds more bricks to the pile that you feel on top of your head, and then it's more likely that you're going to give up. I'm definitely team do whatever you need to do so that your basics are covered. Your shelter, your food, your utilities, all the things that you need. Because guess what? When you cover those basic things, your nervous system can breathe, your brain can relax a little if you choose. You have to choose it, because you could choose to stay in that mindfuckery of I'm not good enough, it's never gonna happen, blah, 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 blah. But if you choose to remember that you're not your thoughts and that you sit up here and you can observe, you can remind yourself of what's true, that just because you're doing this for a season doesn't mean that that's always the way it's going to be, because the only constant in life is change. And so if this is what you need to do in this season of your life, then it's perfectly okay. Kudos to you for being aware of the situation and aware of the fact that this is what you require right now to be able to keep going. And then what happens is when all of your body relaxes and your brain relaxes and your nervous system relaxes, you'll find that you get more creativity. You come up with new ideas. And yes, while you might be working extra on the side or even full time, when you do get to come to the business that you're building that fuels your passion and lights you up like nothing else, you actually can get more done in less time. And if you're having a hard time because nobody else around you gets that, and you want a space where people are there to cheer you on and give you fist bumps, and when shit's not going right, give you a hand up, check out the free space for neurospicy business owners in the description, because we have a shit ton of fun in there, but we also do shit share posts. Building a business isn't always unicorn farts and rainbows, and we're here for the whole spectrum of it all. We don't expect you to put on a fake smile and just show us the good stuff. And that's not what's going to keep you moving forward in your business, in your building, and even in life. Like, it's really easy to get sucked into the lone wolf vibe where you feel like everyone you look at has just done it on their own and yada yada yada, but it's not true. I've done it before by myself, and I will tell you, this go round with what I'm building, it's so much more enjoyable. I have so much more fun, and I've met real humans that I actually get to go meet some of them in real life in October, which I'm super stoked about. And they're unlike anybody that I have in real life. Like, they get the business struggles, they get the joys of doing things for yourself and building something that doesn't exist anywhere else because it's you that's building it. And that sort of thing wouldn't have happened if I had decided, well, I'm just gonna do this on my own. So if you need a space, check out the description. Can't wait to see you in there. And if it's not your jam just yet, just hit the follow button. No biggie at all. So why would you go sell some shit or find odd jobs or get a part-time job or a full-time job? Because what I see happening, if you don't choose to do that when it gets to the point, if it gets to the point where you need to have funds to cover your basic things, you start taking on clients that aren't meant for you. They're not your ideal clients. Typically, they ask for a lot more in return for what they're giving you money-wise, and you end up not enjoying the process. You end up dreading talking with them or helping them, and that's not good. It's not good for you, it's not good for them, and it's not good for your entire business, because when you start feeling that way, it dims your energy. It dims the energy that you put out into everybody else, into the other people, into your content. It starts spreading like wildfire, and it affects the whole damn thing, which is something that you don't want. It's something that you don't want, I promise. Because our brains are really good at, well, this one will be okay. It'll be fine. I'd rather do this than, go do this other thing over here for whatever reason your brain comes up with. And if you have to go through that and you have to try that a few times to realize that that's really not what you desire, that's okay too. But I will tell you that when you're able to figure out what your boundaries are and to honor them, the universe or God will continue to throw people that way at you or give you situations so that you can practice to be like, are you really sure that that's what you really mean? Like, are you really sure that this isn't somebody that you want to work with? Are you really sure you don't want this amount of money for this client that isn't really your ideal client? And I promise, if you stay steady in that and figure out how to cover your basics some other way, that it will pay off in the long run. But you have to know what those boundaries are. You have to know what those clear markers are, exactly what you want, who you like to work with, what you help them with, where the differences are in the pay for doing different things, and be really clear on the boundary of, this is what this amount of money is for. Money is not bad, it's just an energy exchange, just like we talked about a few weeks ago. And that also goes into that inner work we've talked about before, where if you have a hard time charging what you're worth and for the things that people are asking of you, then that's something that you definitely should work on. Because people, if you're not firm on your boundaries, you're not firm on as far as what they get for what you charge, you will have people running over you. Now, at the very beginning, when you don't have proof of concept, like you don't have proof that what you do actually gets these results, then I'm not saying go straight up to here price-wise and charge whatever, especially if you have no following. You need to get some proof. So either do beta pricing, which is like trial pricing, or do it for like 2 or 3 folks for free. Walk them through the process in exchange for a review. And then the next time that you go to offer this to somebody, then you charge. Maybe not the full price. You can work yourself up. As you're going through this process, it will help you figure out what you enjoy doing, what you don't enjoy doing, and to be able to get super clear on where the boundaries are and what you do for folks for what amount of money as an energy exchange. But then it's up to you to decide that's what you want to stick to and not bend when the universe sends folks your way that you end up figuring out aren't a good fit. And part of that may require some pre-filtering in your process, whether you're asking them specific questions to help figure out if they are a good fit and you are a good fit for them. Because again, like, this isn't just about you. If you're helping somebody that isn't a good fit, they're not going to get the great results either. They're also going to feel your ick or hesitance or irritation. It doesn't matter how much of a smile you paste on your face. And so you're doing them a disservice by choosing to work with somebody that you know you are not a good fit for either, just to make some money. And it's not worth that trade-off. You want to be able to work with people that love working with you, that get great results, so they go tell their friends and they give you a good review so that you can use that proof to help other people too. And this whole process, it's a process. Just because I'm telling you what I've done or what I've helped other people figure out doesn't mean that it's easy. It may be simple, but actually implementing it and figuring out all of the bits and pieces and the moving parts can be rather difficult because there's some inner work required. There's some getting messy required, taking messy action, evaluating, refining, and then sticking to what you decide. And then every once in a while coming back and evaluating again. Is this really working for me? Is it not? What do I love? What do I not? Do I want to continue to work with these people, or are they not a great fit anymore? If you need a permission slip, you know where to find me. Whether it's to be able to take up space, or to be able to set a boundary, or to remind you to not settle for less. It's paramount in building your business. Once I figured out who I loved working with, what exactly I wanted to do, and hint, it's not a bunch of done-for-you stuff. It's not a bunch of crap stuffed in a classroom, or 3 tips to, or ChatGPT prompts, or any of that BS. It's none of that. It's one-on-one coaching. And my folks that I work with, they show up, they take their own notes, make their own action plan as I'm asking questions and listening and chatting with them once a week. And then I see them the next week. And if something comes up in between calls, they send me a message and I respond. If I think of something in between calls, I send them a message. I go through a full Skool audit for them, and that's it. And they're moving the needle forward, and they're getting results, and they're sticking around. I had to fight for a long time last year because everybody I saw doing high ticket or charging a certain amount of money a month was doing all this crazy wild stuff, the done for you stuff, or like jam-packed their classroom with stuff. And that didn't resonate with me. That didn't light my soul on fire at all. What I enjoy most is listening to people, hearing their story, what's their current struggle, where do they want to go next, helping them figure out the next right steps, because we can all look at the forest and all the things that we want to accomplish, but how do we get there? By taking the next right step, and then evaluating and refining, and taking the next right step. And so being able to lean hard into what brings me joy, but is also extremely helpful for my people, is what keeps me coming back. I get so stoked to meet with each one of my clients every week, even in my group coaching sessions for the lower ticket service that I offer. Like, I'm stoked to show up. I'm so excited to hear what everybody has been doing, what they've had for wins, where they're stuck, and be able to help problem solve and think outside of the box. Like, I'm not here to tell anybody what the fuck to do. Like, I'm here to help everyone figure out what works best for them and for the people that they came here to serve in whatever way that is. And so if you need a permission slip to try on what it's like to actually do what you love in a manner that is countercultural or outside of the box of what you've been told you should be doing, you know where to find me. Hit the follow button here if you feel like you want to join our space, our free space, where it's just a bunch of neurospicy fun folks and others. There, we do have neurotypicals in there too. that like to have a shit ton of fun while they're building their business, there's a link in the description to check out. Come join us. Or if you know somebody who's building a business and needs some friends to hang out with, and then is tired of following the bro marketing hustle culture BS crap, send this to them. And stay tuned because I have a really awesome interview, my first interview ever with a Skool legend, coming up. I think I'm going to drop it on Wednesday. It happens tomorrow in my free space, and I can't wait to hear what he shares about his experience on Skool, how he has built his current passion project community and created a space that gets people jumping in and taking action that's full of engagement and people getting results. So that's it for today. I hope you have a freaking amazing week, and we'll see you on the next one.